Craft, or maybe the Ghost Tower or something. No.
This is Past Life for Robert, right?
Past life for Robert. We're going into the French. French-Italian connection. Give me a second with this. I even hate saying this. I'm getting screaming Cinderella vibes off of this clock tower. And it's like the tower. I know the meaning of the tower in tarot. It's very much Cinderella, a time for us. Very, very, very Romeo and Juliet. Very Cinderella, very a time for us. Look at these two. This is these two who knew each other, knew that there was, connection to be. Connection to be. The powers that be would grant that this connection would happen. This is the powers that be here. And this is where it was headed, now. What's this? I'm not sure what this is yet. Oh. Gosh. The powers that be. This is the connection. This is the connection that was supposed to be. Somehow, a tune is whistled. This is like the fiddler's calling. Something is called. Where is it called? It's called to battle. What happens? Fuck, fuck, fuck. Will you show them that? This is what happened. This is what happened. I'm trying to figure out in this particular past life, I'm trying to figure out gender, and I know gender is fluid. I think in past lives it's fluid too. Like in one life you might be a man, in another life you might be a woman. It's irrelevant. I'm wondering if there was a switch in there, and I can't tell yet, so I'm trying to see. I believe there was. Yes. This past life, Robert, in this particular one we're looking at, this French, Italian, Venetian, whatever, you were called to a soldier's battle. Excuse me. I keep saying that. In this card, you are her. So you still have all the essence of you, but the battle came. The love that was got kind of wrecked. In this particular, you're the woman here in gender, right? It's like this loss was significant and huge, and it took you a long time to get it over. You almost went to like nun position, cloister position, abandonment position, where you're like, fuck it, I am never going to give my heart again. This was like almost like slated. It was so happy. Then the battle came and your person was taken. Your person was killed. Who's this dude? I'm looking at this dude in the background. I'm looking at this dude here that either sent your person to the front lines or just put your person in harm's path. This is your response to the death. You met a happy benefactor. You met a benefactor. It's like, I don't think you were taking vows of the nun, but you were about at that stage where you're ready to just say, done, over, never again, never again, never again. In what's this person? This person is being the benefactor for you at that time. This person is supportive of you, kind of takes you under his wing. He's a little bit older than you. It would be vulgar to call it like it'd be vulgar to call it a sugar daddy type of relationship, although the qualities were there. He was older significantly. You were younger. He didn't take advantage of you. He looked out for you. He may have noticed you for years before this happened. I think that was an okay relationship, but it felt transactional. He was older. He left the scene. I don't know if this was ever an official marriage or if this was I do know. It was a relationship of convenience that worked for the time. It was transactional. It had its own lifespan, and then it ended, and then you went on. Now look how brazen. This is quite the transformation. You go from here, the young girl, because you're a girl in this lifetime, to here with young love, everything happy, happy, to somebody sending your love on his way, literally, to this brazenness. This is a facade. This is showgirl. This is pretense. This is something that you will still carry with you. This is putting on a good face. This is putting on a good show. If somebody asks how you're doing fine. Even when you're doing shitty. You'll tell them that you're fine, or you put on the brave face. This is something you still need to learn about, something you still need to do different. You get riled up in other people's drama and in their causes, and that's okay. You do it as an avoidance mechanism. The Judgment card is calling here really, really strong, over the top of the crowd. And in some ways announcing your show. Hang on. This was a very fun little section of life for you. 1 second, we might need another deck in a minute. I think we do. Okay, all right. We're going into this deck now. Because this was not out of character, out of alignment. There was nothing. It's like, yeah, this relationship prior had the sugar daddy aspect and took you off the course of the nun or the forever cloistered in a way. It got you back to life again. It brought you vividness again. And it wasn't so much that you were pimped out, but you were definitely like aware of your gifts.
Yes, so true, resonating for sure.
The feminine wiles, they say, which is a hard way of saying it, but the aspects and the showcasing of self was not something you were shy about. It's like you were very, very in tune with how you could perform, and you enjoyed the attention, which why wouldn't you? You had a bumpy road there. Let's see what else is going on. Okay, one more. Okay. Here we have the Oracle coming in, the Queen of Scrolls coming in, and the Lookout. That's what these cards are called. Now let's just read them in the past life sense. This is sitting up in a position where you're seen, where you're very, very much observed, but wisdom kicking in. Now at this point, you're significantly older. Significantly older in this life than when this initially happened. It's like you go through this time of fun and games, showgirl, 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 and then you want to see things a little bit differently. Time has passed from here to here. The Lookout, you're trying to find something, a different course. There's another pivot. And the penny drops for Angie. Here we go. This is you older. It's shown in this deck more true than it is here, but this is you older and wiser. This is you. This is the third relationship in this lifetime. There's a courting, and this is where this person comes in. The person that sent your person to battle. You always thought it was out of jealousy, spite, vindictiveness, or just the gods hating you. And it was none of that. You meet with this person that was the one who was the sender. That's who was shown in this. And this person is somebody that you get to know and significant to you now. It wasn't a vengeful choice that happened. It was something that he had to do it. It wasn't a vengeful choice. Like there's an understanding There's an understanding. There's where he approaches you and tells you this, and he's afraid that when he first reveals himself and tells him you this from him, he really doesn't want to be scorned or hated for what he's going to tell you. But I'm sure this person had gone to see you in your showgirl type mode, and after a while built up the courage to finally tell you. There's big love on this. This is like throughout. So there's 3 distinct relationships that have been in here. The challenge, the hardship of the life was the loss of this one. The regrouping that comes later. Let's look a little bit more about that. Because we know that you're older now. This is a relationship. I don't know if it's a married relationship either. But it's a more even as far as the age goes. Super amount of healing, super amount of artistry and artisan. This one, setting your own course, looking for something different in the divine physician. This is an occupation where in this card, you're here learning to do something. It's like 8 of Coins, craftsman. What did you learn to do? It's going to occupation. All right. Something that you learned to do. I don't think you sat home and did needlepoint. I love to knit. In this life, you sure didn't. That wasn't going to be your thing. Society would have judged you as a kept woman, not quite necessarily like this guy would be the pimp, no. But you would have been judged as a kept woman because you weren't going to remarry. But that was the way that you could get educated. It's the way you could get information. That's the way you had your freedom. You were allowed to strategically keep your freedom so you could learn. But sometimes you did feel a little bit of the cagedness in your situation. But you wanted to learn. Again, referencing her. You would share your information if you saw other women in the same predicament, but it's not like you officially went into teaching or taught anything. But you showed them the different reflections and different stages. When they were very close to you, when you had a bestie, best friend, woman friend, she knew the story of you. She knew the different lenses and the different things. She knew. This references you and the first love. Anything else you need to know? You have pretty much the complete story here and as much information as you need for this particular lifetime that you had. It felt complete. It felt like it had finished. After this, it opened the door to this next one. I think this may well have been, and I think this may well have been the last time that you came as a woman through. Not that the gender is the biggest deal. It's more of the ability to access the information that you would want and going through the door to the next. I think you wanted the power balance to feel different, to be different. We live in a time where gender's pretty fluid, where gender is different. In this past time, the woman energy, it wouldn't surprise me at all if there was a couple more that were before this that you were in woman form, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if the one immediately following this was where that shift happened. Because you didn't want to be caged. You wanted autonomy. You wanted to be able to move freely. If you wanted to be able to move freely, you had to. That's exactly right. Sorry. I should have got that quicker. You wanted autonomy. You wanted to move freely. You wanted more freedom and independence than you had had previous. You had learned as much as you can in that kind of a soul way. You wanted to explore the opposite now. That's what I got for you. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And I'm getting something about ginger. I have no fucking clue what that's about. No clue what ginger's about. Couldn't tell you. I don't know if it's referring to spice, Irish people, or your cat. That's what I got. That's as far as this is gonna allow me to go. Yeah. Wow. That's complete. I don't know what else to say. That's what I got. Holy cow. I did not expect that, but that's what happened. That was like an epic. It was like you had 3 big things, big, in one lifetime that was, I mean, you didn't live till 90 in this one. Yeah, that's what I got.